Hi everyone, it's me, Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I am in a blog hop today, and I thought I would just play around with the Free as a Bird stamp set and the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. Now, I'm not even sure how much I'm going to use the stamp set, but I know I'm definitely going to use this paper because I saw this really cute pocket online the other day that I want to make. And so you take a 12 by 12 or any other square size. Today I'm going to use 12 by 12, but you could use any size, 10 by 10, 11 by 11, as long as it's square. You can make them as small or as big as you like, but I figured I would just go ahead with 12 by 12 since that's what our designer series paper comes in. And now you're going to be using your bone folder a bit for this. Just make sure you get a good crease all the way along. And now I kind of want, just need to pick which side I want my front to be. I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be folding down anyway. So we'll just stick with the original side. So after you get it folded in half, take one of your sides, right or left, it doesn't matter. Fold it across. Get a good crease in it. And then you're going to do the same with this side. You're going to fold this side across. And you're going to do the same. You're just going to make sure you get a good crease in it. Just bring it over right to this edge. Now my pocket is not exactly perfect because I didn't, measure, hey, here's the center, I just kind of fold it and go with it. But once you have it folded like this, I think one of the best things to do is to take a little bit of Tombow glue and just put along this corner to hold this piece down. That will just help keep it in place. It's not a must. You don't have to use it because once you fold down your top piece here, it kind of holds it in place, but I like that extra just to keep it in place. Look how cute that little pocket is. Isn't that adorable? I love this. So now I want to decorate it. And of course, I want to stick with the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper and the different color papers that come in here. So what I did was I fussy cut out some little feathers, some little flowers. I did a couple of the little bird cages. I also have some birds. And I'm not even sure how I'm going to decorate this because I haven't made a sample of this. I had some other little die cuts from the painted poppy dies. Actually, painted label dies, I think is what they're called. I just had some of those little swirly circles, so I thought we might use those. I used the ornate dies. Let me see what the name of those are. The ornate borders, I believe. These are from the ornate border dies. I've got some flowers. I've got got them in So Saffron, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade. Have this beautiful frame from the ornate frames. Got some more flowers here. And then I ran a piece of pool party cardstock through let me see what the name of it is. It is part of the new ornate garden set. I know maybe it's the ornate 3D floral, I think is what it's called. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet, but I thought we might need it for something. So I figured we would just start with a bunch of little pieces and parts and start layering and see what we get. But before I layer, I want to use some of the Dazzling Diamonds glitter. I don't know if you've seen this glitter. It is super, super fine. It is in our annual catalog. But I bought this it's called a glitter duster from Stampers Anonymous. It is a Tim Holtz design. And it has this little nozzle on it that sprays glitter, which I think is super fun. So what I want to do is, or what you will want to do definitely as well, get a piece of scrap paper, So anything you want to spray this on, you want to make sure you keep it all somewhat contained. Actually, probably grab 2 pieces of scrap paper just so we have one to catch some of the excess glitter, because we're going to kind of hold our little pieces up. But I wanted to add a little bit of glitter to these feathers because I thought they would be really pretty with some glitter added to them. So I figured we would just do all of these little feathers. I'm not even sure if we're going to use all of them, but we're going to go ahead and glitter all of them. And then I wanted to use some of the fantastic little pearlized doilies, but I want to add some more sparkle to them. They already have that shimmer to them, but I want to add glitter to them without just pouring glue on this and then dumping glitter onto it. I just want a super thin layer of glitter, and that's where this little glitter duster comes in. It is just a fun little thing to have. So I just took a Post-it note earlier because I practiced with one of the doilies and it worked out really well. Just squirt a tiny bit of Tombow onto it. You don't need a lot. We'll do the doily first. Actually might have needed just a little bit more than that, but there we go. The doily covered. Now it's kind of stuck to your paper, and that's okay. Just go ahead and pick your paper up and just spray that glitter on there. It is so much, I know it sounds silly, but it just gives it just a small layer of glitter. I might have glitter stuck in this now, but it just does a little small layer of glitter on there. Just enough to give it just a little bit of sparkle without too much. And you just got to peel it off because it gets kind of stuck. Maybe I don't have it open all the way. I might have a glitter clog already. Oh no, glitter clog. We might not be using this for our feathers. All right, well, here's the one I did earlier. Where's the one I did earlier? Here's the one I did earlier. And it got some extra glitter on it, but I don't think we're gonna be doing a little extra glitter with this. We might just be dumping glitter onto our feathers. So let's see what we can do. Let's give it a shot with just dumping a little bit of glitter on it and see how they turn out. I just don't want them to be so covered in glitter that you can't see the design of the feather, the color of the feather through them. That's why I was gonna try to use that glitter sprayer, but obviously I have it clogged. So just a quick wash of glue with a paintbrush and a tiny sprinkle of glitter. Oh, not too bad. And they'll have a little bit of sparkle to them. Go ahead and do a couple more. And I think we might be able to just dip them on the glitter that we have left over, which is perfect. Saves me from dumping more glitter out of the container because I don't want to waste any of it. I love having that extra sparkle on stuff, and I haven't used it a lot, but I really love, it is so iridescent. It is just gorgeous. Right. This one keeps sticking to my finger because I have glue on my finger now. All right, we'll get these other three quickly. And I'm gonna have to get a wipe out to get all the glue off my finger, but that's all right, totally worth it. Totally worth it with adding that glitter to these feathers. And I'll have to make sure I wipe this really well as well, this paintbrush, because I don't want it to dry and not be able to use that paintbrush again. All right, I'm just gonna put the lid on this before I spill it. Set these aside, and then we'll grab those later when we're ready for them. Grab a wipe. I'll just quickly use a wipe on this, and then it'll just have to soak in some warm soapy water just to make sure you get all that Tombow glue off. And since we had that extra piece underneath here, we don't have any glitter. Well, a couple little pieces, but nothing major. on our work surface. All right, so now we'll come back to this, and I feel like I kind of want this just with a couple extra little folds in it, just for some I don't know, depth maybe. It's kind of cute, but I do want to stick it down, and I think I'm going to use Tombow again, and then we'll just set a little block on it to hold this down. Clear blocks are fantastic for holding things down when you're trying to get them to glue, so always use that as a, if you need to glue something down. All right, now that we have all these extra pieces, let's just figure out just a cute little layer. I don't want it to be too much of one color, but it looks like we've got a lot of pool party here, so we may be changing things up, and I may be cutting maybe with some vellum. Is always fun to cut. And then I really love this petal pink and polka dot background, so maybe we will get some of these ornate frame dies and do something with those. Maybe this size would be a cute size. So I have my Big Shot over to the side here. You won't be able to see me cut, but I can still talk to you while I'm doing it. So I'm just gonna make my regular sandwich with one clear plate, then my designer series paper, and then my die and another clear plate. And then we'll run it through. And then I always have a little container that has my die brush in it. That went through kind of crooked, but I like to keep the die on the designer series paper as much as possible while I'm getting the little pieces out. And then once I've done that, I try to either hold it on my hand or actually hold it on this little sponge to run through to get all those little pieces out. And I think we did not cut quite all the way through. I'm gonna have to run it one more time. Let's see if I can get it fit right back on there where it was, so we don't have to use another sheet of paper. And then I may need to just add another small sheet of paper. So what I'll do is I'll take a piece of plain white copy paper, fold it in half, and that'll be my shim. And I'll put that in there, and that will kind of make it a little bit thicker for when it's cutting. Much better, much better. I think we got through that time. We'll do the same thing. Keep it on here for as much of this as we can, and then pull it off. And as you can see, most of the little pieces came out, so perfect. Perfect. All right. Let's just, and I know this is hard because you can't talk to me right now as I'm just doing a recorded video, not a live video. So you're probably screaming, here, layer it this way, layer it that way. But I can't hear you. So I'm just gonna go with what I think right now. And I think I'm gonna do a 2-inch circle from this. Because I'm kind of wanting to go with just different layers. And we have all of our glittery stuff here. But I definitely want to add, I want it to be very feminine, obviously, with the choices I've made with colors and different pieces here. But I don't know that I want this entire doily. I like to cut these in half. So let's cut this in half. And then we can always add it in somewhere. Actually, it's kind of cute like that on the top there. So maybe we'll add that in there. I'm not gonna stick it yet, but we'll just set it there. And what I want to use this for is just for a small gift. So I'm thinking this would be something that would be really cute for Mother's Day. It would also be cute just as a birthday gift. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm not sure I like the polka dots. I do have a vellum stitched oval here that's kind of cute. This is how my mind works as I'm trying to put together different things. I'm constantly adding pieces, taking away pieces. And for some people they're not comfortable with that, but for me, it works. So I kind of like adding this little swirly circle that was done in Sahara sand on here as a little extra piece. And I'm debating if I want to kind of layer it through or just leave it. But I'm thinking I also want some Whisper White on here. So I'm gonna grab some Whisper White scraps and we will do something with those. We can punch maybe some sprigs. Because like I said, we're just gonna layer here. So let's get like 4. And then we can decide how we wanna add them. And if I want that to actually be glued down, I haven't decided. I feel like I need something bigger here because this just isn't working the way I had planned, but I don't think I want it to be pool party. And I know I do have some vellum, so we could always do something with vellum. So let's do that. Let's cut something out with these gorgeous frames in vellum. Let's do this larger one. Let's run that through the Big Shot and get a nice vellum frame. And then what I love about vellum is it gives you a little bit of color contrast, but it lets your original color come through. So we're still gonna get a lot of that pool party, but this will soften it a little bit. And so if we add more pool party on later, it makes it look a little bit different, which I like. All right, we'll get that basket back and my brush. I'll go through that. And I'm pretty sure it's cut all the way through. Yes, it looks like it's cut all the way through, which is fantastic. Because then I don't have to run it again, but I did put that extra shim in there. I don't have my precision plate out. Had I had my precision plate out, that would probably be just fine to use that, and it probably would cut it just perfectly. Just get it started. And you just have to be careful with these with the vellum because you can rip your cut image if you're not too careful. All right, I'm actually gonna leave some of those in there because I think it looks kind of neat. And if we have this cute little vellum frame on here, and then we can add in some of our other pieces and parts, and then it kind of gives it a little bit different feel with that vellum for sure. And I haven't even decided if I want a sentiment on this yet. So in the Free as a Bird, we have "We're the best of friends," "Hello, the world needs more of you," "Thanks for being you," "Thank you," and "Your friendship means the world to me." I think all of those are fantastic sentiments for this little project. But let's go ahead and just start doing a little bit of layering here without. Let's just start with the vellum as the backdrop and nothing else. We'll see if our birds look cute on there. We can add our little birds. We can always add stuff coming out from behind them as well, or from behind here. Here. I'm going to take that out for now. I'm going to move this pocket just so we can concentrate on this little layer. Now I love this piece of yellow and white striped that comes from the Best Dressed Designer Series paper. So maybe we'll put our sentiment on that, and maybe we'll do The World Needs More of You. I love that sentiment. I think it's perfect. Let's get it out of the stamp case. I haven't used these stamps in a while. It has been quite a while since I've got my Free as a Bird stamp set out. So today I thought, it's gonna be a good one. Let's just get it out and play with it. See what we come up with. Course planning's always nice, but I kind of like flying by the seat of my pants as well too here with this project. And then because this is on an angle, let's just cut it at a nice angle. We have our little glittery piece that we could add in there. We're definitely going to need some dimensionals. Good thing I have lots of those out, right? Gotta find them all, but I do have a bunch out. And I have a whole pile of them, and they're underneath my other pile of stuff. So that's usually how my life works these days. I have more than one pile of stuff. All right, let's throw some dimensionals on the back of our sentiment. And I almost feel like maybe that should be coming underneath our sentiment. That looks kind of cute. All right, since we have these dimensionals here, we're not even gonna need to glue that down because there are so many holes in that already. This adhesive will come right through and hold that down. Love these little birds. I'm so glad I fussy cut them out, which is what I did with a lot of this stuff. Same with these bird cages, those were fussy cut. Obviously the flowers here did not fussy cut, but the feathers were all fussy cut. And I do have a stack of those from our glittering. Some of them are stuck to the paper still. At least that blue one is. We'll leave that blue one. We've got plenty of them. And then let's just do some layering. I kind of would like to just take a piece of this off. We can always add it on later. Just wanted to see what it would look like. But then I think we definitely need one of these branches on here. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit of glue for that branch. So my best advice, if this is a project you want to do, just get all of your pieces cut first and then just start layering and see where you want them. Because there's no right or wrong. It's how you want it to look. We're going to put this one right on that branch. Our other little bird can kind of be off to the right here. That's looking really cute. I feel like we need to add some extra flowers because I've cut out some more flowers, and I've also done some little die cut flowers as well, which I would like to incorporate. So we'll put some mini glue dots on the back of these other flowers that I've die cut. And we'll figure out where we want them. And now when you die cut them, sometimes those little tiny center circles stay in, sometimes they come out. If you want them to stay in, you may have to actually stick them back in, which is not an easy task because they are tiny. But I think they look just cute either way, so you could do it however you want to do it. It's not set in stone that it has to be done a certain way. I would also like to take some of these off, these little flowers. With the little leaves. We'll poke some of those out. We'll get some different colors here. Let's do this other end and just get this flower here. And then we'll just start layering and see where we like them. We'll start with a petal pink flower on this side. I actually do kind of like this little flower coming out from behind it. So let's just put a tiny bit of glue on the back of this. Just at those leaves, it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be doing more layers, so I'm just going to set those there for now. I'm not sure that's where I want them, but we can just stick them there and see what we get. Not really sure I like any of those flowers over here, but that's okay. They're staying because that's where we put them. And I'm not moving them now. I'm not peeling them off from that vellum. We'll just leave them right where they are. Get a little bit of greenery added in there. I've got a couple of other leaves over here that I die cut, but it doesn't look right with that other, with this leaf in here. So maybe we'll just stick this one in there. Put a little bit of glue on it, stick it in there. Perfect. All right, let's pull our whole little thing back here. Now we've already got this. I do think I am going to stick this down. I wasn't going to earlier, but now I think I need to. Hold it down for a minute, let that sit on it. This is going to be going on here. We can add, I feel like maybe a bird cage on this side over here. Just to kind of add something a little extra to that little flower display. We'll add some extra. We could do another bird cage up here, but I also have these other yellow flowers that match the front of the paper. So we could always throw those up in the corner, maybe with, let's see what we get once we get this on here. I do kind of like that some of our fold is showing through. So we don't want to completely cover everything up. But I kind of want a couple of these sprigs maybe coming out. They can actually be coming out from right there. So we could use some glue dots to do that, to add those little sprigs. As soon as I can find my glue dots. Here we go. Glue dots are fantastic for adding little things on like this. We'll throw one over here, kind of coming out of our, because it'll kind of stick out on the side there. Now again, we can add this other half somewhere if we want to. I just kind of like to play around with everything and move it around and just see where things look good. And sometimes it takes a while to figure that out. All right, we're gonna add this little bird cage right there. And I like this little extra leaf. I kind of want it coming out from somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. I do like these little flowers here, so let's put some dimensionals on the back of these flowers. And with these smaller ones, the mini dimensionals work really, really well. And now for when we hook our actual vellum frame on here, we can do two things. We can either put some dimensionals right on the back of where we've already got items so that it doesn't show through, which is probably what I'm going to do. Or you can sponge Tombow glue directly onto the back of it, and then it won't be see-through, but it'll be stuck directly to this. But I kind of want it to have just a little bit of height on it, so I am gonna put dimensionals on the back of it, like on the back of each of the birds. We're going to use all of our pieces here. On the back of these flowers over in the corner, I'm going to put a couple up here at the top because that is where our sentiment banner is. And then right underneath these flowers, possibly, I'm not going to stick them yet. Let's just see how that will look like that. I think that will look pretty good like that. I don't think we necessarily need them underneath those flowers. So let's get this stuck on here. And now, because I am always going to add extra things, we're going to grab the little Bird Ballad Bird Ballad trinkets, so we can add a little bit of more texture to this. And we still want to add a couple of feathers, which I love our glittery little feathers, which those can even be coming out from up at the top here with glue dots, I think would be good. And definitely a little bit of color contrast. Let's throw in a Calypso Coral one, or a Flirty Flamingo. I guess it's probably Flirty Flamingo. Kind of behind that, in with that sprig there. But then we've got some little keys. We have, I love these little keys. I think these are adorable. There's keys. There's a flower, some leaves, and a bow. So let's see where we could add. We can always add another flower over here to our little floral design, which would be cute. And these are best with glue dots or dimensionals because it sticks really well to them. I haven't tried the Tombow glue with them, so I am not sure if it would hold them down or not. But I really kind of love this key. And I might actually hang it around the bird's neck using some linen thread. Just need to locate my linen thread. There we go. We'll use some of that linen thread. And I'm gonna take more than what I actually need. But we're gonna bring it around this little bird. Gonna thread that key on there. And then we'll just tie it in a knot around the bird's neck if I can get it to pull around. the way I want to. And then we may need to hold it down with a glue dot to make sure it stays, because we don't want it coming off from our little bird's neck. So I'm thinking a glue dot will be perfect. Just gonna trim those little pieces. And now with the glue dot, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of fold it over so it's halved, so it'll be a little bit thinner. And then that'll just hold the key down in place. So now we have that little key tied around our little bird's neck. Super adorable. All right, so here's what we have so far. It's got a lot of stuff on it, but I kind of like it. I don't think we need any more metal elements, but I do want to add in these leaves just for a little bit of extra color. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue on the back of the stem of that leaf. Just kind of put it underneath, squish it down so it stays. Perfect. I feel like we need to add a couple more feathers in here, just layered in different places, because I like to layer things and make things floofy. So let's just layer some in since we've got them already glittered, and they're really pretty. And they add just a touch of something different to the front of this little piece. There we go. We'll stick that underneath so it looks like it's coming out from the bottom. And it adds that glitter at the bottom. This other yellow one, I think. I've got lots of color up here. So we'll hold off on these feathers. So now what I wanted to actually put in this is the Pressed Petals journal. Let me see where I put my Pressed Petals journal, because it actually fits in here really perfectly. If you haven't seen the Pressed Petals journal, it has a craft cover on it. And now that I'm mentioning it, I'm not seeing it, and I literally just had it sitting here because I got it out before we started. Here we go. Here's the Pressed Petals journal. And now it comes wrapped in plastic, but it has all these gorgeous, I guess I'm upside down, has all these gorgeous pages in here that are pre-printed, that have little sayings on them and floral images and different things that you could use for journaling. So I think this would be a really cute Mother's Day gift. And especially if you decorated it and had it inside this little pocket, I think that would be fantastic. I'm probably going to work on decorating this journal later in the week, so I'll probably add to this blog post. But for now, this is how I'm going to leave it. I think we have plenty of sparkle and plenty of interest on this with all the little pieces that we added. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed this blog post, and I hope you make one of these pockets. It doesn't have to be from the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. Use whichever Designer Series paper you want. Cut out lots of little interesting pieces, add them on, just put them wherever you want. Just make a beautiful paper collage for someone that you love. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I live and love to inspire you. Make sure you head over to my store at valeriesmith.stampinup.net to get your supplies to make one of these. Thank you. Bye.